Hey, greetings. Welcome back to Sean's Irish Whiskey Shelf, coming at you from the heart of the United States out here in the Midwest, where I'm happy to be back on. I've been off the air for a few weeks. We got hit by a pretty intense blizzard a few weeks ago. It took out my primary internet connection. So I haven't been able to make any videos and upload them because I was using a backup system that was really slow, and it would take forever, like many hours to upload a video. So here we are. I know it's been a few weeks and I'm sorry, but we're going to get started again. And I've got a really interesting bottle to showcase this evening. First though, always need to give a shout out to my favorite online vendor right down there, hardtofindwhiskey.com or htfw.com, Hard to Find Whiskey. Great group of folks, man, fast shipping. Yes, they're overseas, but they've got a line on some really good whiskeys that you might not be able to find here in the States. So give them a try. And it's not just whiskey. They've got all kinds of alcoholic beverages, vodka, gin, tequila. So look them over, and I hope you find something there that you might like. And I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong with Hard to Find Whiskey. So now, segue into that, this bottle that we're going to talk about this evening, when you pick it up, if you find it, you will notice that it is only 700 milliliters, not 750. So most of the whiskey that you buy here in the States are in 750s. Most of the bottles that you're going to find overseas are in 700s. But I've noticed that some of the American bottles, some of them are going to 700s instead of 750s. Not too many, but I have seen some that are 700s. There is a story behind that, one that we'll go into perhaps in another show. Just be aware that if you pick up a bottle of whiskey and you notice that it's a 700 instead of a 750, that's not a mistake. The standard is 700. It's just the states that do 750. So kind of like we only do Fahrenheit and inches and miles, right? The rest of the world does Celsius and meters. So we have to be a little bit different. And speaking of different, so my lovely bride went on a trip and found this sitting on a shelf in a local whiskey store or alcohol store. This is the Element Fusion Series R1.0. This is a triple distilled whiskey, comes in at 86 proof, and this is from New Era Spirits up in County Wicklow. Now, this is a blend. It is a single malt, single grain blend. New Era does not do their own distilling. New Era sources their whiskey from different distillers, and then they create whiskeys that they try to not even really try, they do. They create whiskeys that are unique. The way they finish them, the way they blend them. I got to be honest, I tried this without you guys first. It was a long 3 weeks that I was off the air. It is really good. And we're going to taste it together so we can talk about it. But this single malt, single grain, it's finished in ex-bourbon, American oak, Oloroso sherry, and seasoned stout barrels. So 4 different barrels they put this through. They also, when they come up with their blends and they develop how they're going to blend the whiskey, finish the whiskey, they do it almost by a committee. They have a committee of whiskey enthusiasts and some distillers that all get together and they talk about what they want to see in a whiskey. So this is not their only offering. They have several other offerings, and they're all very uniquely blended and matured. So what they're trying to do, and what they say on their website, they're trying to redefine and turn the whiskey world in a new direction, give it some new flavor. It says right on the cork here, fired by possibility. So New Era, they're obviously not a group of whiskey enthusiasts that are going to be told no. They're going to try and see what they can come up with. They even, on their website, if you're interested in doing this, you can sign up to be considered to be one of their taste testers, where if you're selected, they'll send you samples and get your feedback on some of the whiskey that they're trying to produce. So it's really kind of cool too. When's the last time you got something from Tullamore Dew or Middleton and they said, hey, would you like to taste this? See what you think? See how it goes with the blending process? So that is kind of unique. Also, I kind of thought this was kind of cool. That's the top. This it is a cork. It's a synthetic cork. It's not a real cork, but that is quite the top on this thing. So I just thought that was kind of interesting too. So all right, single malt, single grain. I'd say those are two of my types of whiskey that I'm not really fond of. I'm coming around to single malt, but single grain doesn't usually hold a lot of fascination with me. But I think New Era got this right. Let's give this thing a taste. Yeah. So right off the bat, I can taste the single grain. Before I went and did research on this whiskey, the first thing I thought of was single grain, because it is pronounced. However, it's not in your face. It's kind of like the Furcullen Falls. We did Furcullen Falls a little earlier, and that's also a single malt, single grain. And I remember telling you that the single grain, while it's not my favorite, had a nice blend, if you will, with that single malt. And it's the same thing here. What they have done, though, is taken it a little bit further by doing the maturing process in the Oloroso sherry casks and the seasoned stout barrels. That's something that Furcullen Falls doesn't do. I don't know what the exact makeup is, which percent single grain, which percent single malt. I would guess that the single grain is a pretty substantial portion because of how well I can taste it. You get that sweetness of the single grain. But really and honestly, folks, this is a pretty darn good whiskey. It's not single pot still, okay? It's not Jameson. It's not Tullamore Dew. It's not Bushmills. It's a unique taste. And this bottle of whiskey should only run you in the $45 to $50 range. So it's not expensive. It's in the States, okay? So you don't have to search high and wide for it. Well, you might. I don't know what the distribution is across the country, but my recommendation to you, if you're following along with me and your palate is kind of like mine, drop the $50 on it and give it a try. All right. This is a taste of Irish whiskey that it kind of stands out on its own. And it's something that you might have a little bit of competition in this for Cullen Falls small batch, but I don't think so. Totally. I think the extra finishing to this sets it apart from anything else. So I like this. I really do. I think this would be something I would share with my son or with some friends if we wanted to have something a little bit different that wasn't super strong, over the top. This is a great drop of whiskey. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't have 3 sips of single grain talking to you guys on this video. Maybe single malt, but together, this makes a really, really special bottle of whiskey. And I hope that you can find some, and I hope that you're willing to try it. And if you do, you know what? Leave me a comment. I answer every comment. I'm a couple of comments behind since I was offline for a little while, but I'm going to get caught up here and take care of answering the comments. So, like I said, if you get a bottle of this, drop me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you liked this video, take a second, if you would, go down there in the corner, click the thumbs up, give it a like. And if you want to be notified of when I create new videos, hey, go down in the other corner, click on the subscribe button, and then you can click on the bell, and you'll be notified of when I produce a new video. Got some catching up to do, and we're going to get on it here and get some videos dropped here in pretty quick succession. So in the meantime, I want you to enjoy your drops of Irish whiskey, because any reason to have a drop of Irish whiskey is a great reason, isn't it? But remember, just do it responsibly so you can be here for the next video. And until that next video, I really want you to be well and be safe, okay? Sláinte. Bye now.